Hello, everyone. My name is James Nussbaumer, and for those of you that don't know me, I am the author of two fabulous books. The first one is The Master of Everything, a story of mankind in the world of illusion we call life, and its sequel, which is just released, called Mastering Your Own Spiritual Freedom, Lessons of a Course in Miracles. And folks, today I want to talk about one of my biggest charities that I work very hard to campaign for. Why are people homeless around the world? It just is really mind boggles me why there's so many homeless situations all over the world. According to, in the United States of America, according to the National Coalition for the Homeless, a report that was put together in July of 2009, the declining value and availability of public assistance is another source of increasing poverty and homelessness. Until its repeal in 1996, the largest cash assistance program for the poor, families with children and such, was the Aid to Families with Dependent Children, called the AFDC program, generally known as just Aid to Dependent Children, as many of us know it by. The Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act, though, of 1996, which was the federal welfare reform law, had repealed the Aid to Dependent Children program and replaced it with a block grant program called Temporary Assistance to Needy Families. But in 2005, the Assistance for Needy Families program helped only a third of the children that the Aid to Dependent Children had helped reach above the 50% poverty line. Well, unfortunately, the Aid for Needy Families, the newer program, has not been able to keep up with inflation. In 2006 to 2008, the Aid for Needy Families Foundation, or not a foundation, program, government program, their caseload has continued to decline, but while food stamp caseloads have continued to increase. Well, moreover, extreme poverty is growing more common for children, especially those in female-headed and working families. This increase can be traced directly to the declining number of children lifted above 1/2 of the poverty line by government cash assistance for the poor. The Children's Defense Fund and the National Coalition for the Homeless of 1998 had also added that as a result of loss of benefits, low wages, and unstable unemployment, many families are leaving welfare struggle to get medical care, food, and housing. But why is this? Why is this such a problem, as I'd asked in the beginning? We simply cannot rely on any government program in the world, in any country for that matter, not just the United States. We just simply cannot rely on the government to correct this homeless problem. It must be handled by the private sector, and that's why I have implemented and have launched the Hopeful Haven campaign. People with disabilities, too, must struggle to obtain and maintain stable housing. In 2006, on a national average, monthly rent, now this was 10 years ago, in 2006, on a national average in the United States, monthly rent for a one-bedroom apartment rose to $715 a month, which is 113% of a person's Social Security, supplemental Social Security income, which is called SSI. So it was just the amount of money receiving from the government is not there. And people are being evicted and being sent into modes of depression because of this kind of a situation. And once you've sunk in that low, it's so hard to come back up. For the first time, the national average of rent for a studio apartment rose above the income of a person who relies on Social Security income. So that going to a smaller housing setup was not the answer either for these people. Most states have not replaced the old welfare system at all with an alternative that enables families and individuals to obtain above poverty employment and to sustain themselves when work is not available or possible. Homelessness and poverty are inextricably linked. Poor people are frequently unable to pay for housing, food, childcare, health care, and education. Difficulty in choices. The difficult choices must be made when limited resources cover only some of these necessities. Often it is housing which absorbs a high proportion of income that must be dropped. If you are poor, you are essentially, an illness, an accident, or a paycheck away from living on the streets. In 2007, 12.5% of the U.S. population, or 37,300 million people, lived at the poverty level. The official poverty rate in 2007 was not statistically different than the previous year of 2006, according to the U.S. Bureau of Census in 2007. But children are overrepresented, composing 37.5% of people in poverty, while only being 24.8% of the total population. Now, I don't expect you to really get them figures I threw at you, but I just wanted to throw them figures out to you to let you know that this is a problem. It's just not going to go away. Two factors help account for increasing poverty: eroding employment that I just mentioned, opportunities for large segments of the workforce, and the declining value of availability of public assistance. Like I had just said, we're never going to be able to count on any government in the world to take care of the homeless problem. In the private sector, we must step forward and do something. Why are people homeless? Well, to conclude, homelessness results from a complex set of circumstances that require people to choose between food, shelter, and other basic needs. Only a concerted effort to ensure jobs that pay a living wage, adequate support for those who cannot work, affordable housing, and access to health care will bring an end to the homeless. And as I had said, we simply cannot count on our government to take care of this totally. When I researched and discovered many of the reasons for homelessness and their loss of dignity, and they're being set into depression and unable to recover from that, I was shocked at the statistics of this, that a nation such as the United States of America, the world leader, could allow this problem to escalate. But as I had mentioned, can we really count on the government to handle this problem? It's up to us privately, through our big hearts, to help take care of this problem that's going on not just in the United States of America, but all over the world. This is why I'm urging you, and why I'm urging you to visit my GoFundMe page, and it's why I'm using GoFundMe to make it easier for people to help me raise money for this cause. Most likely in your situation, it's tax deductible, but you'd have to talk to your tax advisor about that. But for this cause, this homeless cause, we could sure use your help, especially with my own great desire to help others by building this campaign for the homeless. It thrills me that at least I can do something to maybe even just put a dent into the problem. Maybe just help one person. If I could just help one person, that makes all the difference, don't you think? While considering my request, please consider taking a look at my GoFundMe page, which is in the link here down below in the description box of this YouTube video. If you're at my blog site, you'll see GoFundMe posted there. Click on that and take a look at my page. And I hope that you are able, in any manner at all, to help support my Hopeful Haven campaign. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for listening to me. And God bless you. And I wish the best life for you possible. Thank you.